Okay, guys, so if you saw our last Instagram video, you would have seen myself and Coach Dan Reeve talking about the impact of kind of high performance on our health markers and what we would be looking for when we're really trying to get to that kind of elite level, and potentially what we'd be looking for when we're just trying to maintain a certain level of performance throughout the year, if we're not peaking for an event or something like this. So the idea would be that we would get ourselves to a point where our baseline is very good. You know, our baseline health markers are very, very good. So when we do see that slight decline in those health markers, we're still probably healthier than the majority of the population. You know, let's just say, for argument's sake, if we look at resting heart rate, let's say our resting heart rate is going to raise by 8 beats per minute as we go in and we really peak for that event, whatever it may be, a fight or whatever, a lifting meet or something. It might not be 8 beats per minute, but just to make the example, if we're coming in at a baseline with our resting heart rate being 50 beats per minute, if we're going into that event at 58, we are way off a kind of unhealthy resting heart rate. Whereas if we haven't created that platform of health prior to the event, and our resting heart rates, high 70s, and then we're going into the event and now our resting heart rate's up to high 80s, this is not ideal. And, we're looking at a situation where we're pushing our resting heart rate up to the point where we would say this isn't particularly healthy. Aside from optimal, this is getting to the point where we're looking at potentially a slightly unhealthy heart rate. So if you can see on the screen here, we've got some data that we would track. So this is a standard kind of data form. If we look here, it's a couple of weeks of completed data, Monday through to Sunday. We've got resting heart rate, morning heart rate variability. We've got weight, waking blood glucose measurements, total sleep, the amount of times they woke up, and whether they were feeling rested. And then we've got some nighttime metrics to measure as well. So step count, whether they trained and how many times, their mood, their calorie intake, their water intake, whether they're mindful that day, so a meditation practice, and then a gratitude log. So all of these things we can start to get a picture as we collect this data over time of how well someone is handling the stresses in their life. And obviously training is going to be one of those aspects. For some people, that's going to be a large proportion of their life, other people slightly less. But if we're looking for adaptation from training and we're looking to get someone to that elite level, or we're just looking to get some good results with someone, they may not be a sports person, we need to understand about how much we can stress that person with exercise. And so starting to collect some of this data is a really good way to kind of get an idea of how much stress we can apply to someone. So I hope that helps. If you go to our members site, the Performance Hub, on our website, www.quiteperformance.uk, all of these systems are there to be downloaded and used, and there's more information on how we use these with our clients. So go and check that out. And otherwise, we'll see you next time.